Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me today. So today I will be reviewing / doing a demonstration of Faber-Castell's Polychromos coloured pencils. So the set I'm using today is a set of 60 coloured pencils and I paid about $80 for this set. I got it off of eBay. So I've already had the image sketched out on the piece of paper. I got my photo I'm using today off of, I think it was Upsplash, which is a free stock photo website where all the images on there can be used for free. So here I am roughly starting to block out where different colours have to go. So this is an iris that I'm drawing, a purple iris, though it looks a bit more of a blue tone in the photo. So I've started out using blue tones, and I'm using a piece of paper. This is just transfer paper that I had that I'm using on hand, but it's a good idea when you do drawing, especially and with any sort of art medium, to have a piece of paper like transfer paper. I think you can use wax paper too, something like that, under your hand so you're not smudging your work, or B, getting oils and grease or sweat in my case, since it's hot weather here now and we are hitting 40-degree temperatures in Celsius. I'm not sure what that is in Fahrenheit. And you don't want to be smearing your work and getting it dirty and all that. So I did the petals and blended them out with an odorless solvent, and now I'm working on the stem of the flower. So I'm using some greens and brown yellows. Work back over that with some odorless spirits. So you want to put plenty of pigment down when using odorless solvents, so that it actually has something to work with. I learned my technique with odorless solvent and that from watching Lockery Fine Art here on YouTube. I'll put a link to her channel in the description below. She does amazing colour pencil work and painting as well with acrylics and that. She also has a Patreon as well. So if you guys want to check out Lockery Fine Art, I'll have a link in the description below. So I'm working back over it with mineral solves. You see how it blends out so nicely? These pencils, I find, they're very vibrant, and they're a lot different to my other pencils I use. Prismacolor, which are wax-based. Polychromos are oil-based, so they are firmer, and they don't break either, and they have such a nice point to them. Working back over that. So I let it dry for a while and started working back in with the white. Now the thing about a white polychromos, it is not as opaque, so it tends to be translucent. Unlike in a wax-based pencil, it is more opaque. That's just a little bit of downside, but it does do a good job with lightening up and blending, I find. Working back in with the yellows, trying to work on getting my lights light enough and my darks dark enough to create that contrast. So you can see that I've had plenty of pigment on the paper that's blending in beautifully with the odorless solvent. Going back in for some details. Now I haven't actually drawn properly with coloured pencils for a very long time, other than the occasional time that I've done a colour in page. Since the summer's moved in now and work has slowed up a little bit at one job, which makes it easier, I have a bit more time on my hands to be able to try and work on improving my artwork now. Here we are working back in with some darker colours, purples, bringing in the purples and the violets. Or it wasn't actually a violet, but those purpley blues and dark blues. Going back over and blending it all out. The blending with the odorless solvent, I think, was my favourite part, just watching it make it all nice and smooth. Now the paper I'm using, though, I should have mentioned earlier about, is I think it's cold press. It's a medium tooth watercolor pad, 300 grams by Geraldo di Paoli. I think it's cold pressed because it's a rougher surface. But it's not overly rough like some papers are, so it provided more tooth for the pencil to grip the paper. Now there are actually two different petals here, so I'm working on the petal in the background at the moment, which is a lot darker than the one in the foreground. Blending it all back out again. And started working on this other petal on the other side. Now this one here is actually a bit lighter because the light comes from where I'm working at the moment and kind of shines across, but also in front sort of thing. It's an interesting angle, the lighting, I found. It's not sitting dead. To me, it's not sitting dead straight in the flower. It's slightly off center. Working back in onto the stem. So one thing I really liked was being able to sharpen them up to a very fine point to be able to get into those smaller nooks and crannies. Working on using the white pencil as a blending tool. So the white pencil I find is perfect for rubbing over and helping blend two other pencils behind because it's so translucent. Come back in with my solvent, work them back over. I didn't actually count how many layers I did over certain areas, but there is a fair few here. Starting to refine some more of those details. Trying to put in some of the very fine details over on this petal now. Working on getting my lights light enough and darks dark enough. If you hear any rattling in the background while I'm recording this, I've got a little budgie sitting in his cage and he's very annoyed with me. I had him out, but he flew down and got stuck behind the cupboard, so I was like, nope, you're not staying back behind there. Working back over it again. So I really liked the colour selection that I would like to get a hold of now that I've actually tried the Polychromos, is I want to get the whole set, like the full 120 sort of thing. And then as the colours I use more, you can buy them open stock, which is great. So say for example white coloured pencil, everybody uses the white coloured pencil the most out of any set. It's like same with paint, white is used more. You can buy more spare white coloured pencils and have them on the side ready for when you need the next coloured pencil. And they have a wide range of greens and earth tones, and there's also some bright colours. They've also got a couple of colours that I'm calling look very close to almost being a neon colour, but they're not labelled as neon colours. And all these pencils, a majority of them have very high light path ratings, so most of them have light path ratings of well over 100 years. There's the odd one that's a little bit lower, but maybe like 50 to 100 instead of 100 plus, but it's still great light fast ratings, great quality. The pencil barrels are so much thicker, so when I accidentally drop them by mistake, which I did to a couple of them, it didn't shatter the lead through the pencil like other coloured pencils or any sort of cheap pencil does. So here I am working back over the stem, using white coloured pencil to go back in over. Now what I tried to do with the white coloured pencil was dipping the end in solvent to try and soften it, but it didn't really work that way. So yes, here is my finished picture. This is the most detailed I have ever drawn with a coloured pencil. I love these pencils, highly recommend them. So you guys should go pick up a set. So thanks for watching. If you'd like, please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next video. Bye!